Oh, you're just classy, yeah, you're trying to keep it concealed. Oh, mama, I want it, just let it fall.
Welcome to part 1 of the Europe Diaries. Around a month ago, I did a Europe trip with 3 of my best friends from high school, and we explored a couple of countries around Europe. This is definitely a once-in-a-lifetime trip, so I wanted to create this mini-series in order to capture the memories and be able to have something to look back on in the future. I'll be bringing you along to show you things that we did, as well as to share some travel tips that we picked up along the way. Good morning! Guess where we are?
Lisbon! That was really awkward. Anyways.
We had an overnight flight, so we both slept like 2 hours, and we landed at like 6:30ish this morning. All we did was head to the city center and drop off our stuff at the place that we're staying, and now we're eating breakfast. How's the egg tart?
Pretty good.
I ended up getting a latte and also this croissant with cheese and salmon. We didn't know that you're supposed to like grab one of these tickers. It's a ticker, is that what it's called?
Ticker.
Yeah. As soon as you enter, and they like call out the number for you to order. So we just like stood there for 10 minutes. Anyway, the weather is beautiful and I'm excited. Once we fueled up for the day, we headed to a nearby lookout. I didn't know this until planning our trip, but Lisbon is actually quite hilly, so even though that means there's a lot of stairs, there's also lots of places like this where you can get a great view of the city. From here, we were able to see all the rust-colored roofs, as well as appreciate the general landscape of Lisbon. Another thing that I noticed as we were walking around was that a lot of buildings have these pretty decorative tiles. I was curious why, so I searched it up, and it turns out back in the 1700s there was a big earthquake that hit the city, and in order to repair the buildings as quickly and cheaply as they could, they decided to turn towards tiles. We then headed toward the western side of the city to go explore there. One of our friends wasn't landing until 2 days later, so we wanted to save the central part of the city for when she was here, and so the first attraction that we headed to was Belém Tower. This tower used to be known as the gateway to Lisbon and protected the city from raids from the water. We also went inside, but honestly there wasn't that much to see and you could probably skip the line and save your time. As we headed to the next place, we passed by this monument, which was pretty impressive to see. It was built to commemorate exploration in Portugal, and I think there's actually an entrance you can go in to climb to the top. Next up, we headed to the famous monastery, which was absolutely beautiful. Apparently, it's a prime example of Portuguese late Gothic architecture, and the detailing on the carvings was so intricate and unique. This also brings me to my first travel tip. If you're a student, bring your student ID with you because you can get discounts on many of the entrance fees. Additionally, there's also this tourist pass known as the Lisboa card. We didn't end up using it, but I think it might have been able to save us some money, so if you're planning a trip to Lisbon anytime soon, I would recommend doing some research on that. For dinner, we headed to this seafood restaurant that was highly recommended on social media. Everything was fresh and delicious, but the bill was a bit of a jump scare, and it was also probably the most expensive meal that I had on this trip. Thoughts?
What does it taste like?
Kind of like that.
This?
Clam?
Yeah.
Guys, look at this feast!
We are feasting. Oh, I love.
Welcome to day 2. It's currently 7:40. We slept for like 10 hours.
We slept for a long time.
And I'm still so tired. But the plan today is to head to Sintra and do a little day trip.
Yeah.
Yay, we're just gonna get ready. Here's our little hotel. We have a bunk bed here. That's it.
That's it.
Let's go.
Allie braided my hair.
Yeah.
You didn't see it?
I don't know.
Okay.
We're currently on the train ride over to Sintra. It's 9 a.m.
9:10.
How are we feeling? Tired?
Yeah.
Yeah, tired.
I'm actually pretty awake.
I'm ready for a little espresso. The espressos here are only a euro.
But it's only one shot, so I'm gonna ask for a double shot. Double or triple shot? I'll be like triple shot. Oh, I drink triple shots at home.
Girl.
No judgment. wanted to get a latte with 2 shots of espresso, but instead
We did in fact get 2 shots of espresso, the double espresso. We bought a ticket to the park for Penna Palace, but turns out you don't actually have access to any of the castle, so we're gonna have to go back at 2 p.m. because there's no tickets for right now.
And in fact, that was an extra 14 euros.
It's fine. All good.
While we were waiting for our time slot for Penna Palace, we decided to visit the Moorish castle, which was just a couple hundred meters away. It used to be a military fortification, but now it just sits on a hilltop and provides excellent views of the surrounding areas. Here's some travel tips if you're planning on visiting the palace. 1. Book your ticket in advance online. Each time slot has a limited amount of reservations, so definitely try to book in advance. Luckily, since we were there in shoulder season, there was still some availabilities, but I bet there's people who in peak season aren't even able to get in. 2. The palace sits on the top of a hill and it gets really windy and cold. I was freezing in my outfit and I wish I brought layers, so that's something you might want to keep in mind. We are currently on our way to the 3rd destination, and at first we tried to call an Uber or a Bolt, but in fact would take them 20 minutes to get there, and then another 20 minutes to drive there.
And they would just cancel.
Yeah, so basically what happened is we got a driver and we sat in the car, only to realize he double booked himself with another group of girls on Uber, and then we got kicked out.
Yep.
And it was lol.
Oh,
so
well. It's fine, we're walking now. Doggy!
Yeah, so now we're just doing a little 2.5k walk.
I'm to
Wait, not yet.
I got the salmon with sweet potato sauce.
I got some codfish with potatoes and veggies, and we're sharing the steak because we thought the portions would be smaller, but in fact it's not. I'm so hungry.
Do you tip in Portugal or no?
We just tipped 6 euros because we have no idea. We searched it up and they were it varies.
Yeah.
So, also you're red.
No, you're joking. It was sunny. It was cloudy all day.
Good morning, welcome to day 3. Bree landed early in the morning and we started our day by going to a cafe and grabbing some breakfast. We then had to wait in line for almost 2 hours to get onto tram 28. This tram is a major tourist attraction. It just basically brings you all throughout the city. People say you can see the whole city by riding the tram, but honestly I think you get a better view if you're just walking on the streets. So after riding it for maybe 15-20 minutes, we decided to hop off and do some shopping. Midday little beverage, little treat.
What did you get? Kind of vanilla?
Yeah.
Those are your sprinkles. Tastes like milk.
Alexa's dreaming now, drifting off my couch. We walked down street she's walked 1,000 times.
Bree has lost her wallet. Ife's calling her mom.
Probably my parents were like, yo, Ife's parents.
My mom.
Because Bree dated us off.
That's so funny. Oh, Jeffrey's calling them.
No one's picking up.
Long story short, she got pickpocketed on the tram and we didn't even notice. They took all the cash and tossed the wallet on the street, where these kind people were able to contact us and get it back to her. After that chaotic situation, we decided to go back to the Airbnb to refresh and to recuperate before heading off to dinner.
We're opposite. Guys, it's harvest season at the Content Farm. This is a mango spritz. Brits. That's the summer Brits. Spritz. Okay. Jeffrey got
Just the sour apple.
a sour apple, and I got a little virgin something.
Something.
Mule.
One of my friends highly recommended this rooftop restaurant. The vibes here were so good. One of my favorite meals from the trip. The food and drinks were delicious. The sun was shining. Amazing decor and ambiance. What a great way to end your time here in Lisbon.
Tell me you're the one for me. I'll let you if you trust in me.
We ended off the night getting some dessert, and that's pretty much the end of today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to give it a like and subscribe down below because in the next video, we're headed off to the south of France.